declared the intent to use mass mobilization of people on the ground to fight their vote chori campaign. But to what end? Is he attempting another street protest that effectively works as a coup against an elected government but does precious little to improve the situation on ground, if not make it worse? And who would benefit from such a protest, people or parties? Congress is hoping that saying that Indian electoral system has lost its integrity will make it believable for all concerned. After all, the litmus test of this question is, do people genuinely feel the leader they wanted didn't get elected? Do they really feel someone who was less popular got more votes? Building pressure on the Election Commission for answers in specific cases or to improve the system is one thing, but to deny that the process works at all is another. Not to anyone's surprise, the BJP responded with scathing criticism, calling this a perilous provocation, a clear attempt to undermine the very institutions that uphold democracy in India. Asking questions is dissent. Demanding accountability is dissent. But is burning the house down or making suggestive calls for it, if answered, they can easily go out of hand? Is that dissent? Or a full-fledged campaign to grab power without winning elections? Is Rahul Gandhi's stance a clear street war strategy then? We'll take that question and more to our guest joining us in just a bit. But let me break down first what Rahul Gandhi has said in his interview to Financial Times. He says the Congress party has been noticing anomalies in election system for a while, and that the world's largest democracy is now under siege from systemic vote rigging by the government of Narendra Modi. He also went on to say that there is a centralized manipulation of voter rolls, and this is responsible for votes being stolen, allegedly from his party, and it's the guy at the top who's responsible for this. That charge can go to the government top machinery or to the ECI top machinery as well. He also claimed, and this is interesting, that the Congress party's strategy is to challenge the integrity of the electoral system. Why would any party that has benefited so much from the same system want to do so just because you've been out of power at the center for 3 terms? It's not like they're not winning state elections anymore. And he says he plans to do it by building public pressure. These lines have caught, of course, the attention of everyone concerned. But what also happened later today is that Rahul Gandhi raised a report by the Indian Express to double down on his vote chori allegations. He said in a post, and I quote, retweeting this report that was filed, that Gyanesh ji, this is the Chief Election Commissioner, we caught the theft and only then did you remember to put a lock. Now we'll catch the thieves too. So tell us, when are you going to give the evidence to the CID? This is in context of what happened after the Aland allegations that were brought to fore by Rahul Gandhi. They weren't unknown, frankly. They had been in public domain, or they had been reported earlier as well. So what was the Aland aftermath? Let's take a dive into what this report is also talking about that Rahul Gandhi raised. One is that following this charge of attempted deletion in Aland, the Election Commission has undertaken certain measures. The Election Commission has rolled out a e-sign feature on its ECI Net portal and app. The new feature requires those seeking to register as voters or to verify their identity using their Aadhaar-linked phone numbers. Not only does the feature apply to those registering as voters, but also for those applying for deletions and corrections. The clearance of this e-sign is now a requirement that has been mandated. This is another fail-safe that has been added. The EC, of course, has already been on record to say that even the attempts in the past were not successful. They were caught and none of the deletions actually took place. But yes, we do need a conclusion to that case to have faith in the system as to who was responsible for it. Guilty must be punished. Now, the Congress MP raised concerns that the Election Commission delivered on the front as far as the action is concerned, but it doesn't just stop there. If anything, Rahul Gandhi's latest remarks has brought to fore some of the underlying street war mentality, may be emboldened by what has happened in the Indian subcontinent. Several of their leaders have been salivating at the prospect that there could be some sort of a youth protest in India on the scales of what some of the smaller Indian neighborhood countries have witnessed. So a few days ago, Rahul Gandhi himself had appealed to country's youth and Gen Z to protect democracy as he pledged to stand by them in their fight against alleged voter theft. Earlier this month, Congress's ally Shiv Sena UBT MP Sanjay Raut shared a video of arson and street unrest from Kathmandu and wrote that Nepal today, this situation can arise in any other country. Congress leader Udit Raj too has made similar comments, saying people are discussing how public has overthrown power in Nepal, Sri Lanka and Bangladesh, and whether such a thing can happen in India, and that the circumstances are similar and in some cases even more so. Last year, Congress leader Salman Khurshid had cautioned that a violent anti-government protest similar to those in Bangladesh could potentially occur in India. So is this somehow a mindset that is now in the open, accepted by the leader in charge, Rahul Gandhi himself? Is this Congress's bid to mobilize and create a street war situation? Is that strategy now exposed? And is this a justifiable strategy by a participating electoral party in India?
बीजेपी संविधान को खत्म कर रही है। मैंने हाइड्रोजन बॉम्ब की बात करी है, वो आएगा।
ये एंटाइटल्ड, डायनेस्ट और नेपोकिड किस प्रकार से ईएमआई, इमरजेंसी मानसिकता ऑफ इंदिरा और एंटाइटल्ड मानसिकता का प्रदर्शन कर रहे हैं।
सवाल उठाने वाले लोग कम से कम अपने गिरेबान में झांक के देखें, अपने पुरखों के गिरेबान में झांक के देखें।
Let's go across to our guests joining us. Charu Pragya from the BJP, Sarul Patel of the Congress Party with us, Rajat Sethi is political analyst, and Rashid Kidwai, senior journalist, follows the Congress Party very closely. I do thank all of you for your time. Sarul, I will begin with you. Is it a justifiable strategy for a party that has enjoyed power for decades in India, virtually under the same system, to now say that because we haven't been elected for the last 3 Lok Sabha terms, we're going to challenge the integrity of that very electoral system?
The very integrity of the system has been challenged by the actions of the ECI. Because if you remember that on 7th of August, when Rahul Gandhi ji did his first press conference, the very day, within 15 minutes, ECI came out with a bunch of excuses. The week later, when the ECI held the press conference, he failed to answer a single question by the leader of opposition. Now, in his second press conference, when he came out with the undeniable proof, as you saw today, it has been reported in Indian Express, ECI quietly changed the rules. So this is not a reform. This is a confession that Rahul Gandhi was right and that whole system was wide open to abuse. And it's a confession that ECI was in denial and protecting the fraudsters, because they failed to share the data which would have caught the fraudsters who attempted vote chori in Aland for 18 months, despite Karnataka CID repeatedly requesting them. So, number one, the ECI, to restore the faith of in the process of integrity, the ECI must reveal all the database. They have failed to do so. And reason oblivious to us, we do not know why ECI is protecting the vote chores. So ECI must stand with the people of India, not the vote chores.
Okay. No, the question that arises today.
Last point, that in any democracy, all the protests and all the movements are mass driven. So Rahul Gandhi ji has said that we will take it to its logical conclusion by making it a people's movement. So there is nothing wrong in that. That is the most democratic thing to do.
Okay, but it seems inspired by the fact that you don't have to make any legal challenges. It's a cop-out of sorts. You don't have to fight it legally. You don't have to win any cases. You don't have to, either listen to what the ECI is saying or the courts are saying. Some of them have, not granted any relief to Congress party or other political parties making allegations. SIR is a prime example. the heavens were brought down because the SIR was announced in Bihar. What happened? Nothing happened. So it seems like it's a cop-out to say that, okay, we are not going to wait either for answers, we're not going to listen to what the ECI has said, and we're also not going to go by a legal structural process because we'll just, inflame passions on ground.
Shivani, you mentioned about SIR. The SIR, the Supreme Court of the country had to step in. And who were the petitioners? It was the political party activists like Yogendra Yadav, who bought 17 people whom ECI had marked as dead. And the Supreme Court had to force ECI to say that Aadhaar is the identification that they will have to accept. So we are following the due process where possible. It is a due process that Karnataka CID has asked the ECI for the evidence. So ECI is acting like the body that is above any sort of accountability and above any court of any rule of law, because they are refusing to cooperate with the investigation of Karnataka
That's not
CID.
their version. That's not their version. They have responded to this.
And that is untrue.
I don't know if you were on my show that day or not, but I discussed exactly this after the Aland case, and I did ask whether the EC should not come out and tell us if appeals or letters for evidence have gone unanswered. That very evening, the CEO of Karnataka said that all details have already been provided to the CID. I'm not sure what's happening as far as this football between these two agencies is concerned. But yes, Charu Pragya, Aland seems to be a case, even if unsuccessful. What Rahul Gandhi says he's managed to establish is that there's an intent to protect those who are trying to fudge with the system. And there's no answer to that. Why should the ECI do that?
Good evening, Shivani. Let me begin by saying that it's been a month that we have been discussing vote chori and the so-called hydrogen bomb that Rahul Gandhi claims to be carrying around. I want to ask you, if you really have this hydrogen bomb, why isn't been exposed yet? And if you really have data which is credible, why are you going to the media? Why aren't you standing in Supreme Court as we speak? Present all the evidence that you have on record and let the courts do their job. The fact is that there is a term, smoke and mirrors. That's all that Rahul Gandhi does, create a lot of drama, a lot of smoke around nothing, and then hope that a sufficient amount of people will rally around him. But has that happened? No. Do we see any civil society rallying behind Rahul Gandhi? No. Do we see any other political party which is a part of the so-called opposition non-alliance rallying behind Rahul Gandhi? No. Even RJD has been kind of suspicious at best, and when the seat sharing happens, we'll come to know how much of Rahul Gandhi's claims even their best friends are taking to heart. Now, Shivani, the basic thing here is it's so easy to levy allegations, and I've been saying this for a month, but please allow me to repeat it. It's so easy to levy allegations. I can sit here on your show today and say all kinds of things against Mr. Gandhi, against the Congress party, against the Congress spokesperson, against every single seat Congress has won till date. But am I willing to sign an application with this complaint and claim? If I'm not willing to do so, why would anybody investigate? And it just comes down to this. The buck stops here. I can levy allegations, but if I'm not lodging a formal complaint, why should it be investigated?
From my count, I tried to find this out. From my count, post 2023 Karnataka elections, there's only one losing Congress MLA, Congress candidate who filed a complaint.
No,
on
and
the
more,
other hand,
Shivani,
there was also a case of another BJP candidate from a different constituency who actually had gone to court and has managed to win a verdict of recounting.
Absolutely. And Shivani, and one more very important thing. Now, Election Commission has been very indulgent, I believe. Far more intelligent than it should have been, because Rahul Gandhi is not above the law. He is not different from other citizens of this country. All of us have the same rights. So if Rahul Gandhi claims something to be true, he needs to back it with evidence, because like I said, the smoke and mirror has gone on for a month. The second thing is that every single allegation levied by Rahul Gandhi has been rubbished by the Election Commission with data, with facts. Every single time, every single point that he has raised has been clarified by the Election Commission. In fact, so much so that every time Rahul Gandhi has been called for a detailed meeting, he has gone absconding. Please tell me, why would you shoot and scoot?
No, but he's banking on a mass mobilization, right?
Exactly, but he banked on a mass mobilization when he said, "Ab hoga nyay." He banked on the same thing when he said Chaukidar chor hai. He's trying to bank on the same thing when he's talking about vote chori today. But I ask you again, where is the movement? Even people within the Congress are not convinced with this. Rajanna, minister in Karnataka government, was sacked because he did not follow Rahul Gandhi's egoistic, arrogant way of thinking, which does not align with anything. It does not align with anything, not even with his own party. So tell me, Tell me, where does the buck stop for him? And where does this drama stop? And why are we indulging it?
Okay, is this drama? I mean, Rashid Katwai, I want to come to you. Is it really believable that public on the ground will say, yes, Narendra Modi won because of cheating. He wasn't popular. He hadn't delivered. He didn't have the public's mandate, but he won because of vote chori. Does this sound like a believable campaign on ground? That too belatedly, not after 2014, not after 2019, and a year after 2024 results, the very results that Congress was patting itself on the back for winning 99 seats. The same results today, Congress party is somehow suggesting were wrong, were because of vote chori.
Shivani, we must understand in democracy, in parliamentary democracy, it is will of the people that is manifested through elections, whether it's parliament elections or Lok Sabha elections or the state assembly elections. If will of the people is, spurious, if it is not reflective of or there has been any kind of malpractice, then it's a serious thing. It's not about Congress, BJP or any political party. So we need, as Democrats, 5 of us who are debating this issue, I mean, you are anchoring it, we need to be very cautious and we need to be very sensitive about the thing that the exercise itself, the democratic exercise, should be above any kind of suspicion. This is something. Now, when the BJP, my good friend Chalu Pragya picks holes, and if the BJP persons say that Rahul Gandhi is inciting, I can give you 100 examples. Shivani, in the past, when the Bharatiya Janata Party won its earlier avatar with Bharatiya Jansangh, what did it do? When JP gave a call of total revolution, it asked the armed forces, police, paramilitary forces to revolt, not to obey laws.
But
you saw that
Rashid Katwai, this is in the 1970s. India was maybe 20, 30 years old independently.
India against corruption movement that has been there. There's several
We
states,
saw what happened to that India against corruption movement, right? How discredited the members of those movement have become.
Yeah, I think it was a potent drive. You look what happened, how AGP conducted itself, which became later on a ally of the BJP, the Akali Dal in Punjab. Several separatist parties in the country have given a very kind of violent calls, and they became part of mainstream. I'm saying that's the strength.
No,
and
but Congress is mainstream. Rashid Katwai, I'm actually very surprised you're comparing the Congress to quote-unquote separatist parties. Congress is the mainstream of Indian polity and claims to have been the mainstream since independence.
I'm complimenting the BJP. The BJP has co-opted Akali Dal, which had given a call, and burned, the constitution, the copy of the constitution. They became allies. So I'm complimenting the BJP for having this kind of political sagacity and depth.
But why does the Congress need to go down this path? I mean, that is the bigger question. Does the Congress not have belief and faith that it can win on its own?
In many northeastern states, they sacrifice their elected governments to make, Lal Dingla chief minister. So there is a rich history. What I'm saying is this inciting, it is in people's code. If Shivani, by that yardstick, Charu Pragya's yardstick, if a political activist says Inqilab Zindabad, that person is a terrorist or a separatist.
No, that's too simplistic. We are not calling Rahul Gandhi a terrorist either. Charu, 1 second. I just want to repeat my question to Rashid Katwai. Rashid Katwai, my question was this. Do you genuinely believe the public, you called it the public's court, do you genuinely believe the public will say, nahi, Narendra Modi to popular tha hi nahi, aise hi jeet gaya? Do you think so?
Not at all. I'm totally in agreement.
So then how will mass mobilization happen?
No, mass movement is an awareness. When Indira Gandhi was also democratically elected, and the Bharatiya Jansangh, the Janata Party, led a campaign and she was defeated. So this through peaceful.
She was also defeated because she was caught guilty by courts of rigging. You forget that.
Finally, the elections. It happened in 77 elections. It happened. That is what I'm saying. Through peaceful means and a democratic exercise. Similarly, if Congress is building any kind of narrative, it's within the full
narrative. Okay. As long as you present it as a narrative, I think it's fair. Yeah. Yes, Charu, very quickly. Rajat hasn't spoken. Yes.
Not spoken. Very quickly, Rajat, I will take 20 seconds with this. One, you're calling it a narrative. Thank you. Thank you for a very sketchy, selective history lesson. But remember, there is difference between proof and propaganda. And it is propaganda which is being spread by the Congress party because you do not want to speak to journalists in your own country. You want to build up a narrative and a propaganda with foreign journalists. That is where you have been going every single time when you want disruption in your own country. So Sikhs can't go to a Gurudwara is a disruption you want to cause. You want to, bring people together for the wrong things at the wrong time, let me remind you. And today, there is anybody in the world who questions the popularity of Narendra Modi ji and that of Bharatiya Janata Party under his leadership, I think they're living not just in denial, but in La La Land. It is laughable how Rahul Gandhi seems to think that a movement which compromises on counting on my fingers maybe 5 leaders in the Congress party is going to win him elections. Not even Congress is aligned.
Okay. Okay. Yes, that is true. I don't think the INDA is kind of following this strategy that Rahul Gandhi is saying, because actually some of them have governments. They won repeat mandates. I mean, how is Stalin going to come out and say that the electoral process doesn't work? How will Mamata Banerjee come out and say that we defeated BJP even though BJP was rigging elections in West Bengal? So, this strategy is, again, I don't know how believable it is. But Rajat, the big question is, can a mobilization, quote unquote, happen? And is this a fair strategy by a political party in India to even suggest that this is what we're going to do?
I think that's the correct question, Shivani. We should leave the merit of or rather the demerit of what Rahul Gandhi is saying to the Election Commission and to the courts of our country. We should only focus on, and I'm inquisitive about this thing, that what strategy making are the closed door leaders of Congress party making around this narrative line? And this is what excites me, primarily because there are just too many internal inconsistency in this strategy. See, if you are genuine and you are genuinely serious that yes, rigging happens and our election processes cannot be relied, the only way for Rahul Gandhi is to go Khalida Zia way. Boycott elections. Boycott and fight it on the streets till you don't, convince the public. Why do you want to contest elections and keep uttering this nonsense that, elections are rigged? Also, you're trying to tell your voters who have the voting rights and who are going into the polls that your name is being deleted. That is in itself is inconsistent, because anybody who's going in doesn't understand this baseless accusation by Rahul Gandhi that the voters are being deleted. So my only limited understanding is that perhaps Rahul Gandhi, like in every election season, he picks up a flavor. He wants to run to the town with that flavor, without realizing that are there any takers of that flavor or not. And just like an ice cream flavor, he will switch the flavor when the new election cycle comes. The challenge is that, why does he not speak on Rafale even now? He picks up issues, drives it for 2-3 months, and then runs off to Malaysia. That's not how serious politics is to be done. If you want, and if your hope is that the Gen Z should rise up and go onto the streets, you cannot be seen going into the streets of Thailand and Malaysia and Singapore. You have to be seen that you're sacrificing, and the sacrifice comes in by starting off by boycotting elections and not participating in the electoral exercise. That is how you will walk the damn talk. Otherwise, it is all optics. It doesn't make any sense whatsoever.
Since 2004, Rahul Gandhi has been an MP. He lost one election in Amethi, the Congress stronghold, to Smriti Irani. That election, he didn't say there was vote chori.
Yeah.
And then he won again.
This is what I'm saying. This is
So,
what I'm saying.
how is anybody going to believe?
I can make a prediction. After 2 months, he'll forget this issue also. He'll move on to the next issue, because he doesn't have the internal conviction behind anything. And it just shows off. I mean, we are not foolish people sitting and analyzing situations here. There is no conviction. He's talking, where is the SC/ST and the reservation issue? He used to talk about it, but then the BJP took over that campaign, and midway he's given up on that issue. He barely talks about it.
So if this is
in
a
Bihar,
last...
social justice should have been paramount. But that flavor is outdated. So he doesn't care about that flavor anymore.
If this is a last-ditch effort to somehow, make this campaign stick for Bihar, I think Bihar results will tell us whether it sticks, not sticks, although it wouldn't be a final word on whether people believe they're voting one way or the other because of vote chori or not. But then it could be a risky strategy, because if it fails, then you lose face again. Yes.
How does it matter to him? He's been losing 80 elections now. It doesn't matter if he loses one more.
Shivani, let me quickly make 3 points. I have been very patient. So number one, I think you and my co-panelist from BJP, Ms. Charu Pragya, have been quite obsessed about the popularity of Mr. Narendra Modi. So let me remind you and your viewers that when JP held the movement against Indira Gandhi, she was at the prime of her career. She was the most popular leader in the country and in South Asia and in the world. So the popularity of the leader doesn't mean that people do not have the right to protest. I would also like to jog the memory of my friend from BJP that it is under the the most popular Prime Minister, Yashasvi Pradhan Mantri, the farmers of Punjab protested against the government for 3 months at the borders of Delhi, right? So let us not forget that somebody's popularity or not, that doesn't take away the people's right to protest.
Can I come in?
Now,
Can I come in?
now,
Very
Please,
quickly.
can I respond to
Saral,
this?
just very
let
quickly.
me-
The
let me-
reason
I think,
that I'll give you more time. Charu, one second. The reason I have talked about popularity is because we are talking about electoral results. Obviously, popularity doesn't mean that you can't have a movement against a popular leader. If they make missteps, if they take wrong calls, obviously public will rise against them. That's not my point. Popularity, I mean, does anybody in this country believe that somebody else was more popular or more desired by the public than Narendra Modi, but that person didn't get votes allegedly due to vote chori? See, it has to be 2 plus 2 in the public's mind also. Na? They have to feel cheated. Does the public feel cheated?
2 plus 2 or 1 plus 1, I think it is clear that people of the country feel that the election process, the integrity of election process is compromised, because when Rahul Gandhi raised the question, the EC was in denial, and just today morning, as we have seen, they have quietly changed the rule. So this is the confession that Rahul Gandhi was right all along.
Okay.
So that is the first point. The second point, my co-panelist from the BJP said that Rahul Gandhi no longer talks about caste census and all of that. We raised the issue. We made it the public movement, people's movement, and then the most popular, the most strong government had to implement it and say that, the caste census will be emulated in the census 2026. So they had to listen to the people of the country through the movement that we ran.
Okay. I just keep coming back to the 2024 results. And Rajat, I'll give you an opportunity one more time. I just don't understand, how am I supposed to buy this? And my memory is certainly not that short, that 1 year ago you were tom-tomming the fact that you have won a successful campaign against this government by bringing them down from 2/3 majority. And now today you are saying, no, those results were rigged.
They do not reflect the will of the people, because the
That's very
evidence has come
convenient
out.
for you to say today.
Shivani,
Question is for
when you
Rajat.
ask me-
Not
when
for
you
you.
ask
That
me
question was for Rajat. That question was for
Shivani,
Rajat.
what
How are we supposed to believe this? You claimed it your victory, the result of
what I'm
2024. Now you're saying, no, actually those numbers are fudged in your favor.
See, this is what again I'm amused, wherein Congress party seems to have a parallel metrics of understanding what is going on in people's mind and what is the people's mood, and they have made up their mind that my elections are rigged. This is they are living in a parallel planet. All right, in that planet, they are living where Rahul Gandhi cannot technically lose any elections, and there is some externalizing of the problem. The problem is not within the Congress. You have to see the real reason is, if you lose 80 elections, Shivani, if you are made the leader of a political party, tell me what will you go and tell your workers? That Netaji dobara kya bolne aaye कार्यकर्ताओं को? How will you face your workers? The only way you can face your workers is by saying, नहीं यार election ही rig हो गए थे, मैं क्या करूं? I was always winning.
Okay.
BJP who
So this is a layman's,
all
this
issues.
is a layman's
When
grouse.
farmers
This is
protest,
a
they are
layman's
nationalists.
excuse.
They are
This is a layman's.
Khalistanis.
Sir, let me
Students
finish, sir.
protest, they are
Can I come
Maoists.
in?
So it is the
I'm just
BJP
saying,
who has
sir,
mastered
my
the
point
art of
is,
externalizing the
you
issues.
are in a state of shock.
When Rahul Gandhi questions
So,
something,
Shivani,
One by one, please.
They are in a state of shock after what happened in Maharashtra.
It's a state
See,
of
Maharashtra
denial,
came as a huge
denial
jolt.
that
They are
BJP
still
is
not
living
able to comprehend as to
BJP is
what
living
hit them in
in
Maharashtra.
Yeah.
But let me tell you, what happened on the ground in Maharashtra was that, all these parties, Uddhav Thackeray on one side, they were already dividing the cake between themselves even before the elections were fought. The amount of sheer arrogance, sheer hubris that was accumulated in Maharashtra after they did so exceedingly well in the Lok Sabha election resulted in this fatal flaw that they, they lost.
I remember initially Rashid Kidwai, Rahul Gandhi in his first press conference had said that there is something suspicious or fishy because the election results are not matching our internal surveys. Now, surely in Indian politics, that can't be a reason that you're suggesting that the election process is rigged.
Look, we must first, there are two different things, Shivani, we are talking about. One is a process. The process should be, transparent, and everyone should have a, faith. The aspect that you are emphasizing about victory and defeat, that is very much part of electoral play. You see, my friend Rajat, who's very reasonable, but today I was surprised. the way he was talking about boycott election. Boycotting is not an option, not a solution in parliamentary democracy. Shivani, from the first election, 1951,
But you
52,
don't believe in that
77,
parliamentary
the
democracy.
Indian opposition kept losing election. They did not boycott. They kept participating because they could not, defeat.
No, Rashidji, they were never claiming that the elections are rigged.
So this is not a reflection on the quality of leadership that existed.
No, there's a difference. Rashid sir, there's a difference. If you are saying the process is rigged against you, that's a different thing than not being able to win. BJP also didn't win for many years and sat in opposition.
BJP came out with the book saying that
We
this
did not
process is
link
the
two
rigged
things, and that
EVMs
is
are
where
hackable.
let election commission answer. Why is Charu Pragya batting for election commission?
Charu, why are you batting for the EC? Doesn't EC have something to explain? It should be a more transparent organization, no? That shouldn't be the problem for anybody. Charu,
No,
30
absolutely
seconds.
not. Shivani, I have only been speaking for BJP and I have only been quoting the EC. So I do not claim to speak for the EC at all. I am definitely questioning Rahul Gandhi and I questioned him pointedly. I asked him several things which nobody seems to have any response to. And Rashid ji, the very same parliamentary democracy that you're talking about is the one which is being questioned by your leader. Rahul Gandhi is putting aspersions on that very democratic process by saying that the Election Commission is not doing its job. So my solution here is simple. I think I agree with Rajat. Do not contest in these elections at all or simply go to the Supreme Court. You're refusing to do either. Let me say one more thing,
It
Shivani,
has to
very
go to
quickly. You
People's
know all
Court.
the shouting that happened about the SIR process. 1 month was given by the Election Commission to file objections, if any. Anything that had to be brought up to everybody's notice. Do you know how many objections were raised by the Congress party in this entire 1 month? Today is the 24th or the 25th, I believe. Zero. So all this shouting that went on was only on television debates and channels. But
It seems like even the SIR issue has been dropped now as far as the Bihar elections are concerned. You have to now get on to the...
Shivani, I spent a month debating against it and I've spent a month talking about this whole
Well,
story.
now
So we
elections
need
are
answers.
near, so you have to get down to fighting the elections. You can't really talk about SIR alone. I've run out of time. I do thank all of our guests for joining us. Moving on, the Silicon Valley of India is crumbling, one pothole at a time. Bengaluru, once a symbol of thriving tech capital, has now become a living nightmare for commuters. From two-wheeler accidents to stalled ambulances, it's the common person who continues to pay the price, sometimes with their lives. But instead of action that actually translates into results on ground, what we're seeing today is political mudslinging. The party in power is blaming its predecessor or pointing fingers to other states even as the city's infrastructure collapses under its own weight. The Congress government doesn't seem to be on the same page even internally. While the Chief Minister pulled up the civic authorities over the pothole menace and asked for strict action, Deputy Chief Minister D.K. Shivkumar seems to be brushing his hands off, claiming that pothole is an issue everywhere, not just in Karnataka. Siddaramaiah has asked the authorities to make roads motorable in 1 month, but his deputy feels the BJP should have built quality roads during their tenure. Siddaramaiah pulled up authorities asking if they are ignorant of the daily hardships of the public. His deputy, on the other hand, claims that potholes are even there on roads leading to the Prime Minister's residence. Is that at all an excuse? So is the Congress government shirking responsibility and the BJP taking this to the streets, protesting against the Congress government, demanding accountability over this entire pothole menace? Whose version is reverberating more as far as the public is concerned? Is blame game enough? That's the big debate coming up with our guests.
Always BJP will not be happy only. BJP will not be happy. All these potholes have been come at the time of BJP regime only.
Instead of he talking about Delhi and other places, first he should release the fund to the Bangalore for development. These are all diverting the people's mind, telling that, there is a pothole in front of PM.
People are talking about Bangalore. He is diverting the attention of the people to Delhi.
Surabhi Hodigere, spokesperson of BJP Karnataka, Raghu Toderi of the Congress party with us. Professor R. Vaidyanathan is author and retired professor of finance at the IIM Bangalore. Professor, I want to begin with you. What do you make of the versions that you're getting from the Congress party? They're saying this is a problem that every major city today faces. It happens in Delhi, it happens in other metro cities. So what are you making a big deal about Karnataka alone? Professor Vaidyanathan, that's for you.
Yeah. Shivani, thank you very much for having me here. Bangalore is the only city where the distance is measured by time and not in terms of miles and kilometers. If you are staying somewhere near the airport and if your workplace in Bannerghatta Road near IIM, it takes 2.5 hours to commute from your residence to the place of work. So 2.5 plus 2.5, 5 hours of time is spent on commuting. You can imagine the travails of the people. And I am here from 1980, so I know the whole city like the back of my palm. And I would say that from 80s it has been totally neglected. Number of potholes have only increased, not in terms of decrease or anything. And every road has got so much amount of pothole. You stop thinking about pothole. You only think about ordinary surface, how much is left and other thing.
No, so the Congress Deputy Chief Minister says that...
Shivani, one important point, we are very, very secular society. In the sense, corruption is a secular activity for all of us. Christians are corrupt, Hindus are corrupt, Muslims are corrupt. Throughout the period, last 25, 30 years, nobody has been punished for these potholes. No engineer, no official. Maximum they have been suspended or shifted to another ward where they can do the same thing.
No, so do you buy this argument by DK Shivkumar that, see, there was a BJP government not so long ago also. They didn't do anything, they didn't fix anything either. Do you buy this argument by DK Shivkumar?
For the last 20, 25 years, this is deteriorating. Actually, it is becoming day by day worse. And each government is blaming the previous government. I would, not deny that. But situation is not improving. When the going was good in the late 90s and early 2000, people were not so much worried about it because, the exports were increasing, software was booming and so much amount. But finally, we have landed up in this
situation. And it seems to be worse than most other metros. I don't think the excuse can be other cities also face this. Yes, there are problems, civic issues everywhere else, Raghu Toderi. But Bangalore seems to be the worst example.
We are the best. You can't, you can't deny us that.
You are number one on this list. I get Professor Vaidyanathan.
Number one city is Bangalore.
Raghu Toderi, is it sufficient enough to say, give us the mandate, but when we come to power, we'll blame predecessors for what they could or could not do?
No, not really. Thank you. First of all, thank you for inviting me to this debate. And first of all, the misdeed, whatever the earlier BJP government's double-engine sarkar, which they have said that they are going to create a heaven in Bangalore and Karnataka, so that because of their substandard quality of work which they took over in Bangalore and across Karnataka, this issue has been continuing. So it is all the mess they did between 2019 and 23, we are just clearing the mess. So it is definitely take some more year. And second thing, the second reason for this pothole in Bangalore is due to the fund which is not given by the central government, where they're entitled, where Karnataka is entitled, especially Bangalore is entitled to get more than 89,000 crore. And in the 15th Finance Commission, the central government itself had promised that 6,000 crore would be given to Bangalore for the infrastructure. They have failed to give it. And
not for potholes. By infrastructure, I'm sure that money is not supposed to be for filling potholes. That is for infrastructure, which should be further infrastructure that should be built. It's not for filling potholes. The government should have enough money for that.
This is not to develop. Where the government, the entire money, the 90% of the money generated in Bangalore is taken away by, stealing away by central government. So only out of the 7 lakh crore fund, tax we are paying to the central government, we are getting only 53,000 crore.
Raghu Toderi, this is not an argument that your government is giving. Your government is not giving this argument. Chief Minister is saying, yes, fix it. Chief Minister is saying, I've allocated
We
money
are
for it.
already
Fix
fixing
it.
it. See, Shivani, I'm not saying no to it. Yes, I accept that there are potholes. There are two reasons. I've already told that because of the 40% commission Sarkar, earlier BJP government, this entire misdeed is happening in Bangalore. Of course, we are, due to heavy rain, which has seen in the 125 years, highest rain has recorded in Bangalore, because of which, so potholes are there. We have already fixed it. I'll tell you, when the earlier BJP government was there, 37 people died due to this accident and due to this pothole.
I'm not giving them a free pass, but they're not in power today. But yes, Surbi Hodagere, please come in on this. This seems to be a passing of the buck under every government in Karnataka. I really feel for the public in Bangalore especially.
We are not running away from the responsibility.
Sir, I'm sorry to say this, but what DK Shiv Kumar has said is effectively washing his hands off. I'll come back to you. Let Surbi Hodagere come in, please.
Give me only 10 seconds.
Yes.
We are not running from the... See, Bangalore is an international city. Any small issue will become international
That's not
issue.
true.
But where Prime Minister residence itself is having in front of his house itself is having a potholes, that will not become an issue.
Sir, please, let's not make light of the situation in Bangalore by making such examples. This is exactly what is not going down well with the public. But anyways, let Surbi Hodagere come in. The problem is that successive governments have failed. The BJP cannot quite claim that you presented a glorious model when you were in power.
Thank you, Shivani. I just want to take a minute to join crores of Kannadigas in offering condolences to SL Bhairappaji, who passed away today. Having said that, on the issue of Bengaluru and on the issue of potholes, I speak first as a citizen, and so does everybody who lives in Bengaluru. We cannot continue to be in a city which has a lacking of in basic infrastructure, and the Congress has to stop making excuses. Raghu Dodderi might say that we are doing something to fix it, but the statements of the Deputy Chief Minister of DK Shiv Kumar, saying that even God comes down, he cannot fix Bengaluru, I have to, BJP government, so on and so forth, going till the Finance Commission. These are things that no citizen in Bengaluru wants to hear anymore. Let us talk about solutions. Let us talk about fixing this problem. The BJP has been not just on the ground protesting, but we're also offering constructive criticism and suggestions to get this fixed at the earliest. The first one being hold the local elections on the earliest account. It has delayed because of various reasons, including the pandemic. Hold the elections now. Second, make sure that each of these potholes repairs that are happening, we see a very unscientific repair. A lot of citizens have been complaining that the same potholes get repaired again and again. First of all, the existence of a pothole in itself is a bad sign to society that we are not creating our roads in a good way. Rain does not wreak this kind of havoc in a city. It should not. We've seen roads elsewhere. This is not what infrastructure in a global city should look like. And this thing about blaming citizens, people who speak up, they are being blamed, saying that don't complain, you're tarnishing the name of Bengaluru, you're taking away brand Bengaluru. Sorry to say this to DK Shiv Kumar, but brand Bengaluru is not built on an illusion or delusion. It is built on real work. And real work does not equate to giving 25 crores to BJP MLA constituencies and 50 crores to other Congress.
How do you respond to the Congress spokesperson's charge of not giving enough funds for Bengaluru?
Okay, so the Finance Commission argument is absolutely null and void. The Finance Commission money that comes through for urban local bodies does not include this kind of work at all. It's for large infrastructure projects. And also the fact that DK Shiv Kumar is pushing something like a tunnel road. He's pushing a tunnel road when there is a basic hue and cry with respect to potholes. Why is it that we can't get our Bengaluru back in shape? Why is it that we don't have that focus? And the answer to that is, unfortunately, if we continue to prioritize infrastructure projects that only cater to real estate lobbies and not to the actual citizens and their solving problems, this is what's going to happen.
Okay, 30 seconds.
That 14,000 crore loan that you're going and asking for each tunnel that's crisscrossing the city, ask for it to improve public transport.
Yes, Raghu Dodderi, please respond to this. Your focus is
40%.
Your focus is erroneous.
70% is made on your government, FYI. The same lobby, same control lobby is making a 70%.
Shivani, thank you for my fellow BJP spokesman accepting the fact that the road what they built earlier was a substandard one, because of which the potholes are happening. Thank you for that. The second one, please wait. This is not the Menace.
There is no progress.
Please wait. And the second thing, my friend is saying that Karnataka was supposed to get more than 89,000 crore. That is under the 15th Finance Commission. They have not given. So the fund given by the central state government to the central is 7 lakh crore, not 1 rupee. It is 7 lakh given by the hard-earned sweat. The tax elected in the character by given to the central government, but the fund is given to the Karnataka is only 53,000 crore. That is where the real concern about our Kannadigas and Bangaloreans.
As much as you may try, as much as you may try to make this a fund crunch problem, I don't think that is what the public will buy. So, Surabhi, I'll give you 30 seconds to respond and then a final word by Professor.
How much tax does Bengaluru collect? How much tax comes out of Warar only?
Has anyone been punished?
Only 2,300 crore.
On bribery and
only 2,300 crore, which we have already spent addition to it. Karnataka government has spent more than 6,000 crore for the development.
Yet you want to take 14,000
Can I please request everyone, please just wait. Surabhi, 30 seconds, please. Go ahead.
Just want to say, look, Raghu Toderi may keep going on and politicize this, but I speak to the people of Bengaluru who are breaking their backs on these roads. Find a solution. You are the government in power. Don't tell me fund crunch. Sir, please don't argue with me on the Finance Commission. You know it is a constitutional body just as much as the backward commission of which is in charge of the caste census is the constitutional body.
Okay, the government hasn't claimed fund crunch. I don't know where it is coming from. Yes, Professor Vaidyanathan. Ma'am, one second. Ma'am, one second. Professor Vaidyanathan.
Dance, you tend to blame the stage. So, if the potholes are more, immediately you say, Delhi government is responsible. It's something not acceptable. Second is, has anyone been punished for this? That is the most important thing for the last 10 years. Forget about this government, that government, and another thing. Anyone has been punished
for what has been. Absolutely. And this is a larger city issue, civic issue in India. We don't have people who are responsible for this quality of life issues being punished by the governments or by the legal judicial system. There's too much impunity involved. They can get away with this and ordinary citizens have to suffer. I leave it at that. Raghuji, literally 10 seconds I have.
Yes, that's all. Okay, Max. See, majority of these pothole issues are reported why only in BJP MLA constituencies. Majority of the issues.
So now there's another excuse. It's still your state. BJP MLA constituency or not?
Congress MLAs. It's common sense.
It shouldn't matter.
They are not ruling the government. They are not managing the government.
No, you do not. Why have you given only 25 crores to BJP MLAs, whereas you've given 50 crores to Congress MLAs? You want to answer that question?
All right. You're calling it failure and drama. I'm not sure the public would really like that sentiment. But I leave it at that. I thank our guests for joining us. Time for a very short break on Plain Speak.
This is News 18 Network. India's largest news network.
There is a latest flashpoint in the ongoing Rahul Gandhi versus Election Commission drama, where in a recent interview, Rahul Gandhi accused the government of undermining the integrity of India's electoral system. He said that his party's strategy revolves around mass mobilization against this. He also said that he is certain huge parts of the country will not accept a rigged election. The BJP wasted no time in firing back, questioning Gandhi's intentions. BJP leaders argued that his remarks are an attack on the Indian state, calling him, quote, dangerous for the country's democracy.
ये वही राहुल गांधी है जिसने कहा था कि वो इंडियन स्टेट के खिलाफ लड़ना चाहते हैं। क्या इसके बाद कोई प्रमाण चाहिए कि राहुल गांधी का एजेंडा भारत विरोधी और आंबेडकर जी के संविधान विरोधी है? ये एंटाइटल्ड, डायनेस्ट और नेपोकिड किस प्रकार से ईएमआई, इमरजेंसी मानसिकता ऑफ इंदिरा और एंटाइटल्ड मानसिकता का प्रदर्शन कर रहे हैं? आज राहुल गांधी का एजेंडा साफ है, क्योंकि उनके आरोपों में कोई दम नहीं है। उनके सो कॉल्ड हाइड्रोजन बम की सुतली बम बनकर हवा निकल चुकी है। तो राहुल गांधी जी अब भारत की संवैधानिक संस्थाओं को सीधे सीधे चैलेंज करने का दावा कर रहे हैं। इसी को कहते हैं इंडियन नेशनल कांग्रेस नहीं, एंटी नेशनल कांग्रेस।
Let's now talk about this particular interview of Rahul Gandhi's that is given to Financial Times that is creating all this furor. So the first thing that he has gone on to say is that he has been noticing anomalies in the election system for a while now. He further says that the largest democracy, that is India, is under siege from systemic vote rigging. Further going on to claim that there is a centralized manipulation of voter rolls to steal the polls. He's pointing a direct finger at the ruling dispensation, the Bharatiya Janata Party, the NDA government. The guy at the top of the system, he says, has done it. So he accuses the Chief Election Commissioner for this entire thing, also in turn the Prime Minister. The party's strategy is to challenge the integrity of the electoral system. He's talking about what the Congress party is going to go and do from here on, challenging the integrity.
After more than 60 years of service, the Indian Air Force is set to retire its MiG-21 fighter jets. The final farewell will be held on September 26 at Air Force Station Chandigarh, where the first squadron was based. Chief of Air Staff Air Chief Marshal Amarpreet Singh will lead a flypast on the last day of the MiG-21 service. The aircraft has trained generations of IAF pilots, including Air Chief Marshal AP Singh himself. With that, it's a wrap on Plain Speak. The Right Stand is coming up.
This is News 18 Network. India's largest news network.
There is a latest flashpoint in the ongoing Rahul Gandhi versus Election Commission drama, where in a recent interview, Rahul Gandhi accused the government of undermining the integrity of India's electoral system. He said that his party's strategy revolves around mass mobilization against this. He also said that he is certain huge parts of the country will not accept a rigged election. The BJP wasted no time in firing back, questioning Gandhi's intentions. BJP leaders argued that his remarks are an attack on the Indian state, calling him, quote, dangerous for the country's democracy.
ये वही राहुल गांधी है जिसने कहा था कि वो इंडियन स्टेट के खिलाफ लड़ना चाहते हैं। क्या इसके बाद कोई प्रमाण चाहिए कि राहुल गांधी का एजेंडा भारत विरोधी और आंबेडकर जी के संविधान विरोधी है? ये एंटाइटल्ड, डायनेस्ट और नेपोकिड किस प्रकार से ईएमआई, इमरजेंसी मानसिकता ऑफ इंदिरा और एंटाइटल्ड मानसिकता का प्रदर्शन कर रहे हैं? आज राहुल गांधी का एजेंडा साफ है, क्योंकि उनके आरोपों में कोई दम नहीं है। उनके सो कॉल्ड हाइड्रोजन बम की सुतली बम बनकर हवा निकल चुकी है। तो राहुल गांधी जी अब भारत की संवैधानिक संस्थाओं को सीधे सीधे चैलेंज करने का दावा कर रहे हैं। इसी को कहते हैं इंडियन नेशनल कांग्रेस, नहीं, एंटी नेशनल कांग्रेस।
Let's now talk about this particular interview of Rahul Gandhi's that is given to Financial Times that is creating all this furor. So the first thing that he has gone on to say is that he has been noticing anomalies in the election system for a while now. He further says that the largest democracy, that is India, is under siege from systemic vote rigging. Further going on to claim that there is a centralized manipulation of voter rolls to steal the polls. He's pointing a direct finger at the ruling dispensation, the Bharatiya Janata Party, the NDA government. The guy at the top of the system, he says, has done it. So he accuses the Chief Election Commissioner for this entire thing, also in turn the Prime Minister. The party's strategy is to challenge the integrity of the electoral system. He's talking about what the Congress party is going to go and do from here on, challenging the integrity of electoral system, he says. And that is by public pressure. So these are the claims that were made in this particular interview by Rahul Gandhi. Now, after this interview, BJP is now tearing into the Congress, and this is what their line of attack is. Attack number one, proof of Rahul and Congress's anti-India agenda. This is what the Bharatiya Janata Party is claiming. The second attack is that this is a bid by the Congress party and Rahul Gandhi to engineer distrust amongst the voters and the entire electoral system. He's trying to fish for some amount of discord, says the BJP. The third attack that the BJP is in fact pointing at the Congress party is that the Indian National Congress, or as they term it, the Anti-National Congress. That is what the party stands for as per the BJP. The fourth attack, Rahul Gandhi is dangerous for India's democracy. They further go on to claim that all of this that Rahul Gandhi has said is a clear proof that he is against the Indian state. My colleague Pallavi Ghosh is now joining us on the broadcast. Pallavi, war of words obviously is ensuing, but the way BJP is going to take this attack forward, what has been the Congress's defense so far?
See, the Congress has been maintaining that we've given substantial proof. In fact, Rahul Gandhi has repeatedly made the point that I have done 2 press conferences, which have been a tell-all press conference with all the facts and figures. And I remember the last press conference, he said it very, very clearly that I have 100% bulletproof evidence to show that there indeed has been a compromise as far as the functioning of the Election Commission is concerned. And therefore, as far as the Congress is concerned and Rahul Gandhi per se are concerned, they don't think that they need to be apologetic. In fact, that's one main reason why they have refused to sign any kind of an affidavit, something which the Congress president also made a reference to a short while back in his opening speech. You know, the venue, choosing Patna, that's where his voter Adhikar Yatra ended. And also the fact is that Bihar elections are coming up. These are all multiple reasons why one realizes that at least in the Bihar elections, the voter Adhikar or the compromise by the Election Commission is going to be the core political issue for the Congress. For the BJP, in case they win the elections, they're going to look at it once and for all, Griha, a closure on these kind of allegations and narratives coming in from Rahul Gandhi.
Right, do stay on with us, Pallavi. We also have our colleague Payal Mehta now joining us. Payal, about BJP's line of attack. They are, in fact, centering that attack on Rahul Gandhi being anti-national, the Congress party being anti-national. And that is the way forward as far as the Bharatiya Janata Party's attack is concerned. The fact that they are trying to in fact, suggests that Rahul Gandhi, by making these statements, is in fact making a statement that is completely anti-India. Where are they going with that argument?
Well, the BJP is of the belief that Griha, every time that Rahul Gandhi steps out of the country or probably, gives an international publication an interview like he did on this occasion, he is only and only speaking against the state, and that is completely, uncalled for, given the fact that you can be opposed to a political party, you can be opposed to an ideology, but why would we opposed to the countrymen? These are the same people, who voted his party to a figure of 99. Is he trying to undermine the intelligence of these voters as well? That's the question that the BJP really wants to ask. Same as Rahul Gandhi has a habit of shooting and scooting, and basically that's exactly what's been the matter. Whether it came to the fact that he had to apologize on multiple occasions for making blasphemous comments against the Indian state as well. That's something which, of course, the BJP will be pulling up. And, of course, in a few minutes from now, Ravi Shankar Prasad, former Union Minister and senior leader of the BJP, will be taking on Rahul Gandhi as far as this is really concerned. And where is Rahul Gandhi going to stop? Where is he going to go with this? He's the same person who actually tried to, make allegations against the Prime Minister of corruption, when the Rafale issue took place, and then he had to eat humble pie. People of the country have chosen Prime Minister Narendra Modi's government to come into power for 3 times in a row. And the BJP is going to ask Rahul Gandhi, does he feel that vote rigging has happened even?
Namaste, Jai Hind, and welcome to this edition of The Right Stand. I'm Anand Narsimhan. Now, the Trump administration's H-1B visa threat is sending shockwaves across the global workforce each passing day because the norms and the filters keep changing. It has now released a new proposal that aims to revamp the selection criteria for this category of visa. The US government has unveiled a proposal to modify the H-1B visa selection process. And under the proposed rule change, the lottery system will be scrapped, giving weightage to high-skill, high-pay applicants. The 85,000 visa cap will remain, and a 30-day public comment window has also been opened for feedback. Now let us take you through this entire proposed changes stack and how they are now modified again against the current system. The Trump administration has delivered a jolt to the H-1B visa program in its current shape. Now, under the proposed system, higher paid workers would be favored, while the current